All right, now I can hinge the rest of these doors one by one, and then we'll work on the jambs after that. And a little tip for holding the doors up, just get a bit of 90 by 35, cut a wedge out in there, just probably about 15 mil bigger than the actual door size, and then use a little wedge, just basically cut a wedge off that end there, and then you use that to pin the door, and that's what I use to hold the door in position. And you can tap that with a hammer if need be, if you want to get it really solid. But yeah, simple little cheap door holder. All right, so the next thing I like to do is go around and make a list. So you go into each room and view the door as if you're standing on the inside, and then you put what side the hinge it's going to be on, whether it's left or right, and that way you just go through each room, bed 1, bed 2, bed 3, hinge right, hinge left, so that when you get out here and you're looking at the door, you know which is the bottom. On this door, it's actually got a bigger transom at the bottom and a smaller transom at the top, so I know the door will be standing up, and I look at it as if I'm viewing it, and then that will indicate which side the leaf of the hinge, or the actual round bit, I guess you would say, is hanging out the door. So yeah, make sure you get the hinge sitting on the right side of the door, and that will be this little round piece here. I guess that is the hinge itself, and you'd call that the leaf maybe. You want that, making sure that's hanging out on the correct side of your door, not the right or the left. So this door being an 820, this will be my first cab off the rank. We'll call this the guest bedroom. This one actually hinges in on the left. So if that was to come up, that would be the right, be the left on the bottom. So then I can take my template. That would be the top. Template is set up, I should be right to continue on and house those out. All right, off to its new home, and then the next one up to the operating table. All right, so basically I've got this cut. So the way this is going to work, this will sit opposite inside the jamb, and I'll take inside and show you in a minute. That's going to sit something like that. And that way our trimmer is going to be supported all the way around here, and it won't roll off. On this end here, we spoke about it before, I'll be putting a 3mm packer, something like that. And the reason I put a 3mm packer on the end is so that now that drops it down 3mm to give your door 3mm gap or a 3mm margin at the top. So here's a little piece that I cut. I'll nail that on, and then I can use that for any door. Perfect. Now, that little 3mm packer that I put on the top, when we slide that up into the rebate, that now brings the top of the door down when it sits inside. This other little piece that we made up, that was just the same thickness as the rebate, which was 11mm on this, will sit inside there, and I'll slide it up probably roughly about there somewhere. I'll sandwich all that together with some screws through here into the jamb, and once that's screwed off, then basically I can use the trimmer here, middle and bottom, and then whether it's left hand or right hand, I can now spin that around either way to work on either right hand or left hand side of the door jambs. Now it's the same thing as when you do it on the door. You want to make sure that your template is flush with the outside of the door jamb, which is where the leaf of the hinge will roll over to. Right, so in theory now I can take this off, chisel out the last couple of corners and hang the door. Now when it comes to actually hanging the door, you can invest in something like this. I bought one of these, they call them Busy Bob. It basically goes under the door, and you can adjust it with your screwdriver to lift the door up or down. Or there's those little Winnie bags, the little pump up bags you can sit under there just to adjust the height to get the hinges right. I love cool new tools. And then the way that works, you just stick it in the top and start lifting. Pull back down. All right, and a little trick as well, what I do with these door jambs is leave the architraves off. So that way if there's any minor adjustments, like this one here actually needs to come across on the top hinge, you can get in behind it and actually move that across a couple of mil and put a packer in there. So there's still room to sort of play with what you need to get the margins right. Tell you what, this thing, pretty good investment. I think it was only about 150 bucks. The good thing about it is it's got that level base, so you can actually sit the door on there and it will take the door up and down and hold it pretty like parallel. I'll put a link actually in the comments below to where I got it, and yeah, if it's helpful, put on it. Got how big this door was. This is a 920, this door, so quite large. And because I've cut this one so close to the floor, I'm actually going to have to take this out to get it a little bit closer down. And we've got a separation now between the garage and the rest of the house, which is good because we're actually still living out there in the caravan. It's pretty dark here at the moment because of the clouds and everything that sort of come across, but I'll take you out the back and just show you where this storm's coming up through the valley. It's pretty cool. It's good to watch actually. Gives you an idea of the dark clouds that are coming across. All right, now here's an example of where we don't have a 2.4 door. Obviously I made that jig up to suit all those high doors. This is a 2.4 frame, but then coming down with the highlight, we've only got a standard 2040 door. So what I've made up is just a single hinge jig, which basically can be moved between the 4 hinges that we're going to put on this big front door. A little bit more work because you don't actually have it precise transferring these measurements from 4 hinges on the jamb to 4 hinges on the door. You're doing it individually. So you have to be a little bit more accurate with transferring your marks between the jamb to the actual door, but is what it is, and it's still quicker than actually hinging it out. So once you get this screwed on, do one individually. Put the door into place, leave your 3mm margin all the way around, and then transfer your mark, like pack it up from the bottom of the door so it's sitting in place, and transfer from your jamb across to your door and mark that on all your 3 or 4 hinges. Then you can actually pull the door out and then use the individual jig to house out the jamb, and then we'll house out the door. Everything right, that should fit like a glove. Now the fun part, the heavy door. The door's had a bit of a whack actually. It's no good, I'll have to glue that up and fix that across. All right, now the fun part to see if it fits. Because I've done each hinge individually, it might not be exactly it's templated to be, but I'll put it on the door adjuster and see how it goes. It's actually really close. There's just a little bit I'd take off the 2 middle hinges in the top just to get all 4 seated, but generally with 4 hinges there's a lot less. There's a lot more chance of error versus if it's 2 hinges or even 3 hinges. But yeah, a little bit of a trim with the chisel and it should be good to go. All right, now those 2 are trimmed, we should go straight in. Beautiful. The other cool thing about these busy bobs, you can actually put them under the end of the door here, wind it up, and it'll lock your door into place. So when you're doing things like your mortise locks, hinging these out and you want to be drilling, the door stays nice and straight rather than when you're drilling at the door sort of swinging around or trying to put some temporary wedges under there. All good, mortise locks in, our scutcheon plates are on, and now I'm just fitting off the actual pull handles. These ones have got a slotted head on them, so just got to be a little bit careful with the drill bit. Let's slip off and scratch the black. I'll be in trouble then. Close. There we go, one front door done. This one's got the little roller catch on it on the deadlock. So deadlock on the bottom, acts as the main security. And then if you just want to keep the door shut, that roller catch there is just spring loaded. And that just rolls in and sits in so the kids can come and go. Just pull or push the door shut. And then when you go out for that extra security, latch it over. Alright, so that's about it for the locks and the hinges on this front door. There's still some other trims that I need to put around here, just some 30 by 10. Same around these sides and all these openings so that we can then get the glass and put the glass in the outside face and then run a bead around that. But for now I just want to get that door on so I can continue on with some of the other doors. Finish off the architraves and the skirting here, and then the painter can come in and start doing the prep, and while he's doing that then I'll get all this ready with the glass. And then that should be the front entry completed. How good is that? This is going to be a nice little seat as you come in through the entry where the girls can put their bags, shoes can go underneath, and then up the top here we're going to put some hooks to hang bags and coats and that type of thing. What we're doing now is running a little trim all around the sides and around the top just to basically finish it off, just to frame it, give it a little bit of a detail. And then that's it, ready for the painter to come in and start gapping it all up, doing what he needs to, filling some nail holes, and then that's our little entry ready to be painted and all done. I've got the boss's tick of approval.
It's amazing.
Thumbs up.
Yeah, thumbs up.
We've done that one, and we've also done the laundry as well. So it's come up pretty good, I'll show you that one. This one's the same, it's got the lining boards in the back. And a little mobile seat in the bottom that we built. Alright, so there you go guys. You got to see all the carpentry fit out take place. So doors, skirtings, architraves, and including all our engineered oak floorboards that have gone down. They come up absolutely amazing. I'll put a link if you want a more of a detailed how to install these boards over a concrete slab and how to waterproof and everything else. Then I'll share that link up here so you can look at the more detailed video. But for now, all we really need is the painters to come in, start painting everything. They've already done a day or so of prep work, and then our carpets to go in the bedrooms, a few little odds and ends, barn doors that we're getting made to go on. And that's about it. We're just about done. So exciting times. Thanks for watching this episode, guys. If you've liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new, hit the notification button, blah, blah, blah. You know the deal. I'll catch you in the next episode. Cheers.